Hi, this is Guy Schwartz, and you're watching Hippies TV.
You can call my name. You can think of me. I won't run. I won't hide. I want to be there for you.
Waiting on call number 3 to take us closer to that goal of $2,600. Seems like a long way away right now. You know what? Just a couple of calls and it can be closer than you think. But it can't start until you call. 713-526-5738.
All right, out of the 4,000 people listening to the program at any given moment, 2 called in to play sport. And one of them just happened to walk through the door to play with us live today. So one, that pretty much means one. Phone call of support. Susan, how do we survive like that?
I just think because, well, here's the thing. Let me tell you. Sometimes it happens in all kinds of different ways. First of all, every now and then, well, actually a lot, we need an angel. Sometimes we'll be $600, $700, $800, $1,000 away from the goal, and an angel will call in and say, you know what?
And you could be the next new member by calling 713-526-5738.
We are able to make it to our goal. Well, you know what? Maybe that's called somebody calling in a $500 pledge. That would be sweet.
Hey, $40 is all I ask, but yeah, I'll take the 500, please.
Exactly. Well, so here's the thing. Sometimes we get a call from an angel with a large pledge that can help us take. It's a very, very cool day. 30 of you called in. 31 of you actually called in.
To Raj, not me.
And pledges anywhere from $40 all the way up to $250. 31 people called in, took us past the goal, and helped make up for the shortfall from Tuesday. And it's great. Sometimes it's a whole bunch of people giving it a basic membership level. Sometimes it's an angel with a larger pledge taking us past the goal. That's how we make it.
What's going on?
But you know what? We don't
Marlo,
make
are
it.
you going to sing for us
The phone
today?
doesn't ring. We don't
Not
make it.
today.
Calls don't come in at KPFT.org.
You're on the radio every day and you can't sing a song for us?
Make a pledge. Those are all the ways that
What's
we
going
can
on,
make
buddy?
it. Can you do one of them right now? 713-526-5738.
713-526-5738. Susan, we're going to check back with you in a minute, but you know that there's a benefit this Sunday over at Dan Electro's,
I do.
correct?
I can't wait to hear more about it.
And, well, many local musicians are coming together for a benefit for Billy Block. And
I think they've all squeezed into the studio now.
a lot of those performers are here with us live in the KPFT studios. Gentlemen, welcome. Guy Schwartz, I'm going to have you introduce everybody in the band. This is kind of your brainchild, correct?
Well, it's a group effort. There's a lot of people that got together to put this thing together. Jack and I and Nancy Block, Billy's sister, Bruce Kaufman, started some meetings early on. A few weeks before that, we were in discussions with Rock Romano, who's right here in the studio with me, you're Dr. Rocket, and John Evans, who's not, but will be there on Sunday.
Okay.
And Jack Saunders is sitting here ready to sing and play with us. He's a Houston fixture.
I think I've met him before.
Yeah. He's got some great records that he's made, and he's produced a few more. Gets some great sounds
right.
over at his White Cat studio. Stephen Hunter is walking in right now with some drums.
Stephen, welcome.
Stephen, like Billy, moved out to L.A. from Houston and had a nice long career there, and has been back the last few years. Roger Taus, my partner and fellow New Jack hippie. We've been together 40 years. We are just releasing our 23rd studio album together.
And you just got printed and got it in the mail yesterday, right?
You were the first one we gave a copy to.
Very nice. I can't wait to stick it in my ears.
And
Roger, thanks for coming in today as well, my man.
Yeah. And down here is Nick Michael Taylor.
Michael Taylor.
Who's
welcome.
also known around town as Michael Hyman and has recorded under both names.
Okay.
Chaz
Is he
Nadej.
hiding from the law or what?
Sometimes. Not right now. It's a pretty happy period for Michael.
Okay, good.
And Chaz Nadej is back here to play keyboards.
All right, Chaz, welcome as well.
Marlo Taus on video camera.
And she's singing backup on the record, but she's shying away from the microphone today.
That happens a lot. And yeah, we're just really happy to be here at KPFT. I've been at KPFT since the beginning. Used to do the Magic Cowboy program at the Atlanta Life building every Sunday afternoon, where we would feature unknown Houston and Austin musicians like Jerry Jeff Walker and Rusty Weir and Willie Nelson. And
who are those guys?
And we were a house band that backed up one of them every weekend, and there was KPFT just dishing this music out to Houston and now the world for free.
Yeah.
You don't have to listen to the commercials. I got this new album, 23 studio albums, 55 albums, including compilations and live albums, and all but 3 of them have only been played on KPFT. Yeah, I've had hit records, but that didn't mean they'd play the next one.
Right.
And KPFT is important. When you hear people say go out to the clubs and support local music, well, call KPFT and support local music, because there are people I play for every week when I'm a sideman playing for great band leaders 30 miles, 50 miles, 70 miles from Houston, and they know me, and they only know me from KPFT. They've never seen me live, and they come up and tell me about it, and they tell me how important KPFT is. And now KPFT is struggling a little more than usual, because Corporation for Public Broadcasting has no more money to help out for now, maybe forever. Who knows? But it's time for you out there to call 713-526-KPFT and put your money where your ears are.
Yeah, 15% of our funds used to come from them, but it all dried up, went away. Who knows if it'll ever come back, so we have to make up for that money each and every pledge drive, and today we're going to try to do our best to get there. But, Guy, I appreciate the pitch, and thank you so much. And I know you're not done because we got a lot of money we need to raise. But tell folks a little bit about Billy Block and his influence on the music scene. He started here, and I think one of his first recordings was with the Texas Tornadoes back a long time ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, yeah, before they were the Texas Tornadoes.
Right.
Roger and Billy and I used to all play in the one of the 2 everyday house studio bands over at Sugar Hill Studios for Huey Moe.
Don't forget to turn off your phone.
And Roger and Billy.
That's a pledge call.
Yeah, good.
You guys taking pledges in there? That's awesome.
It's a beautiful
That's right,
thing.
man. We're helping out the best
I
we can.
appreciate that.
So Roger and Billy both played on some sessions that were Freddie Fender sessions, but also had some of the other guys in the Texas Tornadoes in it. And then Billy later recorded with them again when they were the Tornadoes. But here in Houston, Billy played with Roger and I in the old Zap Rhythm Band. He played with Rock and Dr. Rocket for a couple years. He played with Jack with Shake, and Rancho Bebop was one of his bands, and they'll be there this Sunday.
The Voices.
Billy played with a lot of local bands, and more importantly, made their recordings sound really good, and the recordings of bands that he didn't play with, because he got hired as session drums. Billy's the kind of drummer that's so good in the Ringo Starr sense that his ad in the Nashville Music magazine says, Billy Block, session drums, bad attitude, shows up late. Phone number. And he's still booked, around the clock.
Solid, right.
And, now he's been in trouble. He's battling stage 4 metastatic melanoma, and he's battled it before. I mean, as early as when we were 20.
I'm going to have you play a song, and then after that I want you to talk about exactly what's happening at Dan Electro's on Sunday.
Sounds good. Who wants to go first? Rock Romano, Jack Saunders, Nick Michael Taylor.
Let's do your song.
All right, this is not my song. It's an old song.
Making it your song.
This is an old song that I first heard Ray Charles do. It's called Smack Dab in the Middle.
Pick me a town in any clime. People like a rockin' time. Stay awake both day and night. And everybody's feeling good and right. And kick me smack dab in the middle. Smack dab in the middle. Smack dab in the middle. And let me rock and roll to satisfy my soul. I want a big brass band and some dancing girls. Streets that's paved with natural pearl. Bring me a wagon load of bonds and stocks, and open up the door to Fort Knox, and throw me smack dab in the middle. suits of clothes, all dressed to kill. Oh, getting it down with a good girl. And 50 chick not over 22. Woo! Throw me smack dab in the middle. Smack dab in the middle. Smack dab in the middle. And let me rock and roll to satisfy my soul. You wanna play a little bit? Smack dab in the middle, pitch me, smack dab in the middle, throw me, smack dab in the middle, and let me rock and roll to satisfy my soul. Yeah, just let me rock and roll. There you go, boy.
Yeah. The new Jack hippie-ish band, I guess you could say, live in the KPFT studio. Rock Romano taking lead on that one. Nice guitar solo from Jack Saunders and Nick Michael Taylor. 2 guitar solos in that tune.
Beautiful.
Where are you going to get that at on commercial radio?
Boy, nowhere.
Nowhere.
Two different guitar geniuses, no less.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, this is some of Houston's best talent live in the KPFT studio all at once. And, this is such a rarity. You'll never get these guys in the same room together except this Sunday over at Dan Electro's Guitar Bar, of course. And as a matter of fact, I almost guarantee this is the very first time all you guys have been in the same place at the same time. Because, Jack, I saw you introduce yourself to some of these people. Is that right? You've never even met some of these guys.
That's right.
So very nice. So we got a nice room full of some great talent, and you're not going to get this anywhere else. Where else are you going to hear some great live music on the air, especially some of Houston's finest on the airways, on the FM dial? It just doesn't happen. Because why? Some guy in Baltimore picks all the music, and he looks at a pie graph, and he says, you know what, that song, it's just not commercially valuable, so we can't play it. Never heard of these guys, don't even listen to it. But you know what? If we like it, we think you're going to like it, we're going to play it for you. And this town is packed with some great players and some amazing music, and Houston radio would have you believe that there is no local scene. And there's a huge local scene right here in Houston, and it's a disgrace that we can't shine the light on these artists like we're supposed to. But thank goodness for people pledging in the past. We're able to bring you great live in-studio performances from some of Houston's finest. And thank you guys for coming into the studio and entertaining us today. And I know that Billy's got to be extremely proud to have all you guys in his back pocket and helping him out. That's huge that you guys are doing this for him. And
Billy's the greatest. You know, Guy talked about Billy's ad. Like he's got a bad attitude and won't get there on time, but everybody that knows Billy knows that he's the most generous and fun, life-loving person that I bet any one of them's ever met. He's just an awesome character and just exudes joy and the love of life, and he always has.
Right.
You know, and I remember that time back in '83 when he kind of came and talked to me about some problems that he was having with that cancer, and he said, I'm going to whoop this thing. So he made it 30 more years at least, you know.
And he's got that attitude this time around as well. He really wants to kick this thing.
Man, what a powerhouse. And he's just, not to mention, one of the best drummers in the world,
sure.
too.
Very cool. What's next?
Any one of us. Who wants to grab? I'll grab it. There's a look in her eyes that goes on forever. Look in her eyes that goes on forever. Can't recall what I felt above. Lost in time, lost in love. There's a look in her eyes that goes on forever. Lost in time, lost in love, lost in time, lost in love. There's a thing that she does make me shake all over. Thing that she does make me shake all over. Out at night, all alone, no one there to call me home. There's a thing that she does make me shake all over. Lost in time, lost in love, lost in time, lost in love. There's a place on the road where I often stumble. A place on the road where I often stumble. 40 nights and 40 days, different people, different ways. There's a place on the road where I often stumble, yeah. Lost in time, lost in love, lost in time, lost in love. There's a sign on the door telling me to be humble. You know that's not my strong suit. There's a sign on the door telling me to be humble. Can't recall what I felt above. Lost in time, lost in love. The sign on the door telling me to be humble. Hey. Lost in love, lost in time, lost in love, lost in time, lost in love, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. The Guy Schwartz band, I guess you could say. Guy, what am I calling?
Billy Block Birthday Bash Benefit House Band.
All right. I'll hope you remember that for the next break, because I won't.
Oh, we'll have a different name by then. That was too long to put on a T-shirt.
These guys are all coming together with so many other musicians to support Billy Block. That's happening this Sunday over at Dan Electro's Guitar Bar. A lot of other great musicians will be there. Going to be a huge jam, and it's a great way to support a fantastic guy who's done a lot for the music industry and business and keeping real music alive. And that's what we're trying to do here at KPFT, and if you appreciate that, we want you to go to the phone and dial 713-526-5738. And when you do, well, we can bring you more of it. Simple as that. You like what you hear, you enjoy the live music, you enjoy the ticket giveaways, you enjoy the independent artists having a home on the FM dial right here in the best city in the United States. Well, now it's time to support it. Yeah, right?
Absolutely. For a $1,000 pledge right now, you will get to have dinner with Rock Romano and spend an hour with him in his recording studio.
Right.
If it comes in before we're off
The
the
rates have gone up.
Okay, I'll agree. For how much?
I don't know. Whatever I said.
200, right?
Oh, is this for real?
I'll record you if you spend $200. I'll let you do a little demo even.
Okay. Go in there and record with Rock. You can make a song for your wife or your husband. You kind of, you don't have to be a serious musician to go
Okay,
in there.
let's see.
You got enough of them here. They'll make it sound
Now
great.
let's look for matching donations. White Cat Studio, Jack Saunders, are you going to offer the same thing?
I'll do the same thing.
Roger
Sure,
Taus,
yeah.
Bong Island Sound, you going to offer the same thing?
Bong Island.
There you are. 3 local studio owners.
That's right.
They're all going, damn, what the hell did we get ourselves into this morning?
It's bad enough to have to be here at 11.
Yeah, right. Sweating in the hot back studio. Well, you guys are going to have a blast over at Dan Electro's on Sunday. It's going to be an amazing party from 2:30 or 2:30.
Doors open at 2. The party starts probably when we get there, start setting up at noon. Well, the party started when we got here, actually. We're going right to lunch, rehearsal, and it'll be a blast.
Very cool, very cool. And you guys are going to do one more for us today?
Well,
2 more. We got 2 more.
We have 2 more guys to do a song if we need to cut the time.
No, we can do 2 more.
We'll let them fight it out.
Oh, no, we'll do it. Who's
Steel
up
cage
next?
match.
Jack, are you next?
I'll do one, yeah. I was driving over here and I heard Wanda Jackson. Man, you played Wanda Jackson.
Yeah.
I said, hey, man, what other station's going to play Wanda Jackson?
She's coming to town tomorrow night.
I know, that's fantastic.
And you wouldn't know about it or hear her music anywhere
I didn't
else.
know she was coming to town tomorrow.
One more reason.
I'm going to move heaven and earth to go see her.
There
that's
you
for
go.
Sure. Wow. Thank you so much, and thank you KPFT for.
You bet.
Not just playing our music, local musicians, but just great music in general. And there's no other place like it, so we got to keep place alive.
Very
that's
cool.
For sure.
Thanks,
Thank
Jack.
you so much.
You bet.
Well, the people tell me that I've changed, that I look a bit deranged. Well, if they knew what I've been through, I wonder how I'd make it to the end of another crazy day. Now, even I don't recognize myself. Pull my mask down from the shelf. Try to act like nothing's wrong. Smile and sing a happy song. But really I am just a sad cliche. I'll sing it with me. And they say I look out of place, like a mustache on a Mona Lisa. And it's painted on my face, like a mustache on a Mona Lisa. Got something, keyboard man? Even I don't recognize myself. You look twice and you'll agree that there's something strange about the sad and twisted lonely lout, pretending all the while that he is me. And they say I look out of place, like a mustache on a Mona Lisa. And it's painted on my face, like a mustache on a Mona Lisa. I'll break it down now. And they say I look out of place, like a mustache on a Mona Lisa. It's painted on my face, you know what I'm saying? Like a mustache on a Mona Lisa. What I just say? Like a mustache on a Mona Lisa. Oh yeah, that's it.
Fantastic.
Like we've played it together before.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Jack Saunders taking the lead on that one right here in the KPFT studio. These gentlemen will all be over at Dan Electrio's Guitar Bar Sunday afternoon for a great benefit for Billy Block, who's done so much work with Texas Tornadoes, Billy Shaver, Towns Van Zandt, Delbert McClinton, Jim Lauderdale, Rosie Flores, and I'm just scratching the surface. Are there dancing girls and silent auctions and stuff?
There are silent auctions. I would suppose there would be dancing girls, but we haven't hired any. We're just looking for that to happen spontaneously.
Okay. Well, Marlo Blue's here. She's not going to boogie down.
Shake it, baby.
Somebody grab the camera so we can put that on video.
She's a silent dancing girl.
Yeah, I know. We need to grab it and aim it at her.
All
Marlo.
she has to do is shake the camera. It looks like she was dancing. You know?
What? Who's next? Are we doing one more?
Well, Nick Michael Taylor's the one that's prepared to do a song, but and anybody can be next.
This is
we
going to
could
be
do this all day.
Yeah, I know you can, but we can't. If it wasn't Pledge Drive, you guys could jam out until 1 o'clock. But
it is Pledge Drive, and Rourke was talking earlier about how the money. If it came all at once, we could just do one pledge drive. But it's even greater than that, because if the money for everything for the whole year came in at one time and then a little bit more, there could be upgrades. There could be cool events. There could be new equipment for these people to work with and do greater things, create new programming that KPFT could syndicate.
Sure.
Create. I play at a lot of community and college radio stations. Some of them have full-blown recording studios. WNCW in North Carolina. It's just amazingly big operation where you can do anything musical, video, or recording-wise if you're a member of that community. And KPFT could do that too. It's all a matter of the bucks, and that's all up to you to call 713-526-KPFT and make that kind of stuff happen. We already have the best and strongest radio station on the Pacifica network, and it's a... And we've got Rourke Smith.
What more do you need?
The best damn DJ, award-winning 3 years in a row at the Texas Awards as the best DJ. And if you listen to Rourke on a regular basis, you know just how true that is.
Thank you, Guy.
And
you can come back anytime, man.
And I do.
Yeah, you do.
I think each of us individually had that same thing to say to you.
Yeah. Thank you, my man. Thank you, Rob.
Your support of local music has been amazing. KPFT is, you just got a hold of that thing and just thrown it out there for the rest of us. And it's rare that we've had that direct contact with this kind of exposure.
Sure.
Thank you.
Hey, I grew up in this town. I love music, and when I'm driving around and it's so hard to find great music on the radio, I think it's a missed opportunity to put a good vibe out into the world and into people. And the way that all of us respond to music, it makes you feel so good. But they're not putting it out there on the FM dial, and it's really not just for the music's sake, but for the vibe in the world,
It's a whole cultural thing, to tell you the truth. It's a lot going on in the world.
Yeah. Roger, I know you're running from the cops right now, so we're not going to use your full name, but what are you going to sing for us, my man? I'm sorry, Nick.
Michael Taylor.
Nick's is the one running from the cops.
Roger's in back
I got
without a headset.
There's too many people in here. No problem.
This is a world premiere.
Is it really?
Brand new original song. Off
None of us have ever heard it.
Yeah, that's right.
So here goes. It's called Keep On Running.
Good.
Got to keep on running, 'cause the hours get too late. Got to keep on running, hours get too late. Not gonna miss that train, must be on my way. Got to keep on running, don't pass me by. Got to keep keep on running, hope that train don't pass me by. Gotta ease my worried mind. I got to keep on running, don't chase me by. I got to keep on running, train don't pass me by. Love me one more time, mama, just before I go. Got to keep on running, keep on running, keep on running, yeah, yeah, yeah. Keep on running, keep on running, keep on running, yeah, yeah, yeah. Here we go. Oh yeah.
I'll be back with more Hippies TV.
And there's something that KPFT does that nobody else can do on the airwaves here in Houston, and with great regularity we practice that. And that is to feature music, live music, on the air, emanating in the studio. And I got a massive collective in front of me that we'll just call the Billy Block Barbecue Schwartz Band. Guys, why don't you play a couple and we'll come back to talk. 713-526-5738. Keep them coming in.
There's a look in her eyes that goes on forever. Look in her eyes that goes on forever. Can't recall, I felt above, lost in time, lost in love. There's a look in her eyes that goes on forever. Lost in time, lost in love, lost in time, lost in love. There's a thing that she does make me shake all over. Thing that she does make me shake all over. Out at night, all alone, no one there to call me home. There's a thing that she does make me shake all over. Lost in time, lost in love, lost in time, lost in love. Well, there's a place on the road where I often stumble. Place on the road where I often stumble. Out at night, all alone, no one there to call me home. There's a place on the road where I often stumble. Lost in time, lost in love, lost in time, lost in love.
Roger Taus brought Billy Block over to my house to jam and see if we could play together. This song was written within the first 5 minutes. It's been like that through the years. When we got together this week, in the first 5 minutes, we had a track for another album. But here's the first one.
Another Saturday night, and I ain't got a prayer. I got my hands in my pockets, I ain't going nowhere. It's no laughing matter, and it can't be denied. So we just gotta keep the music alive. party next door, but I don't wanna go. I'll be bored at the disco, and it's dark at the show. Not giving in, I won't be deprived. Said gotta keep the music alive. Yeah, I remember, wasn't long ago. Well, the magic in the music, they used to let it grow, but they turned the beat around, stripped it down to the bone, and the song keeps getting better when you're playing alone. Everybody's so long.
Billy Block, Barbecue House Zap Band with Guy Schwartz in the studio with us. Guy, why don't you go ahead and introduce the entire band? There's a number of you here. I'm grateful for all of you coming down.
Oh, we're grateful for you to give us the opportunity, and we're grateful that KPFT exists to do things like this. We have Chaz Nadej on the keyboards, Billy Bourbon on acoustic guitar and vocals, John Stone the same way. Michael Hyman, also known as Nick Michael Taylor, depends which continent you're on the electric guitar, Roger Taus on the Fender bass. Rick Plunk didn't bring in his keyboard. He's kind of giving moral support and making his body make noise. And let's see, Marlo and Nathalie. Jack's over in the other room. Hi, Jack. And then we have Billy Block, who has come into town. He's one of our heroes. He's one of our longtime bandmates. He's been fighting stage 4 metastatic melanoma, and we're having a benefit tomorrow to help his family pay the bills and make sure the boys go to college.
Now, a lot of people might not know that name, Guy. Might not know your name, Billy.
That's true. It's been a long time since I've been in Houston, but I was commenting. I lived down the street for many years here in the Montrose, and spent a lot of time playing around here with a lot of folks that might be familiar with your listeners from back in the day. Of course, played with Guy and the Zap Rhythm Band at the very first Montrose Westheimer Arts Festival.
We were the only band.
We were the only band back in the day.
They weren't going to have bands.
In the 70s and 80s, I played a lot with many of the bands in town, Shake Russell, Michael Marcoulier, recordings with the Dishes,
Dr.
Rocket and the Sisters of Mercy, Danny Everett, John Vandiver. So I played with a lot of the Montrose music mafia, as it would be, and Corky's Theodores, Sand Mountain.
And then you moved to Los
and
Angeles.
Then I moved to
took
LA.
that town by storm.
Yeah, I had a great 10 years in Los Angeles. I moved there in 85, lived in LA from 85 to 95. I was the house drummer at the legendary Palomino Club for 10 years. Did TV, radio, movies, worked for Disney. I stood on the freeway in Burbank with a sign for about 3 weeks that said, "We'll work for Disney," and they finally hired me. And then moved to Nashville in 95. And
what caused that move? Why did you pick up and go from the West Coast to Nashville?
I had a great career there. I guess the quality of life. I was in a country band called the Bum Steers, and there's nobody like us and nobody likes us. And I just happened to enter a talent search for one of the big alcohol companies, and I got a call from this guy who's from New Zealand. He said, "Billy, it's Paul Zamek calling from Nashville, and we'd like to bring the Bum Steers to Nashville." And I was like, "You got to be kidding!" He said, "Yeah, and bring your girlfriends and your wives. We're going to put you all up." And so we were part of this big talent search. And I was writing for Music Row magazine at the time, and I had written for Buddy magazine in Texas, and I wrote for Music Connection in LA. And so I had this journalistic connection to the city, but fell in love with it. And my wife and I wanted to start a family and raise kids, and we thought Nashville could be a good place. The quality of life there is phenomenal, and the humidity is much like Houston.
Well, at least you felt a little bit of home, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And something happened while you were in Nashville. I mean, that's a cool story and all, but Americana music came along, what we call Americana, and so many listeners at KPFT, so many of you giving money for many, many years, got reeled in by AAA Americana music. Give me a definition. What is that?
The definition of Americana is more artists than fans, basically. I mean, from my perspective.
Kind of like the Astros is what you're saying.
It's pretty much. Yeah. Americana is and it's interesting coming from Houston and all the styles. I grew up listening to, and playing country music, rock music, blues, rock and roll, Cajun Zydeco, and Americana embodies all of that. Folk music, a lot of folk stuff. So if you take all of the music, all of the indigenous American music, and you meld it together, that's Americana.
Now, Billy gets credit sometimes for being the guy who invented Americana, even though that's like Al Gore inventing the internet. He didn't really invent it, but he kind of copped all these musical styles together under one name and started a radio show doing this list in L.A.
I had the first Americana brand, I guess you could say. I started this thing called Western Beat, which a great artist who lives up in Wimberley, Kevin Welsh, called his first album on Warner Brothers Western Beat. And, I just started this brand that really, I was playing in bands with Jim Lauderdale, and I was playing in bands with Buddy Miller and Dale Watson, and so many of the iconic the artists that are now considered iconic Americana artists. I was playing drums with them. No one was playing their music on the radio. So when I was in LA in 1991, I bought an hour of time on an AM signal out of Burbank, and I started Western Beat Radio. And that's how, and I had the first nationally syndicated Americana radio show for 10 years. And the first
what was that called? Western
Beat Radio with Billy Block. And then I had the first Americana television show on CMT called Western Beat with Billy Block, and I had Ralph Stanley before he was a pop star, and I featured Jim Lauderdale and Buddy and Julie and all of those people that I loved, and a lot of the Texas artists and a lot of people from Houston.
Speaking of which, I think there may be some Jim Lauderdale tickets out there at the Play Center. We're trying to raise some funds today on KPFT.
Let's do that.
713-526-5738. Billy Block's in for a benefit tomorrow because of, hey, that's a tough battle. And you're looking good. You're looking strong.
Well, man. You know what? We're celebrating. I'm actually turning 59 tomorrow for the third time. And no, I turned 59 on Sunday. It's my actual birthday. And we're also raising money. I was diagnosed in December with level 4 metastatic melanoma. And the prognosis for me is pretty good. They've started me on this thing called the BRAF protocol. And I'm 50% to 75% reduction in tumors. So come and support a worthy cause and call into the station and support KPFT, because not only do I need money to live, but the station needs money to live as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We hear one more, guys? Is that possible?
Sure.
Yeah? Let's go ahead and hear another one.
We got as many more as you want.
We do
them one at a time.
We're going to hear another tune, and then we're going to go check in with Pledge Central. Thank you.
Let's let Billy Bourbon sing one. Why don't you do Weed at Walmart?
They say, Billy, what's all them songs about weed, man? Between you and Jason Boland, don't we have all we need? I said, I want to feel like I've done my part when they start selling weed at Walmart. Weed at Walmart, yeah. They have a smile in every eye. But that refund line, it ain't never gonna be the same. Half the people want to argue about the seeds in their Walmart brand weed. The other half forgot why they came. They have a whole department devoted to weed. Happiest damn employees that you ever seen. The only bad thing when Walmart starts selling pot is finding your way out of the parking lot. They say, Billy, what's all them songs about weed, man? Between you and old Willie Nelson, don't we have all we need? I said, I want to feel like I've done my part when they start selling weed at Walmart. Weed at Walmart, yeah. I have a smile in every eye. They got a green light special in aisle number 4. They got some Yucatan blue, man, it's moving out the door. Only about $20 for Walmart brand weed, that's all it takes. And $200 for Little Debbie cakes. They'll have a drive-through, they'll have a fast lane. First time I charged weed on my Visa, I know I got it made. Low, low prices, that's the Walmart guarantee. You know that little yellow smiley face? Looks kind of stoned to me. They say, Billy, what's all them songs about weed, man? Between you and old Sublime, don't we have all we need? I want to feel like I've done my part when they start selling weed at Walmart. Weed at Walmart, yeah. Oh, my buddy Guy Schwartz, he's got a retirement program. He's going to be the official greeter at Walmart when they start selling that stuff.
Ma'am, could I see what you've got in that bag?
Sticky-fingered devil.
So what are you going to do, Billy Bourbon?
I ain't waiting for Walmart to have no piddly little sale. I'm heading straight to Sam's Club and getting a big old bale. Oh, get out that forklift. Get me one off the top shelf there, son.
The return of the Zap Rhythm Band here in the KPFT studios. Guy Schwartz, Billy Block, Billy Bourbon, a cast of thousands. Roger Taus back there on bass, Chaz over there in the corner. They're all doing their part, and if I missed somebody, and I certainly did, the secrets are out there. They're hidden. They're treasures, people. The music is sitting there in front of you. You'll never trip over it. Not in a million years here in Houston. You just won't. I don't care if you have the most mobile scooter in town. You're just not going to do it. You're not going to be able to traverse the distance. You're not going to be able to get to all the little clubs that have these music. We have so many sub-venues here in town that feature great music every night of the week. You'll never get there. You got KPFT. We bring it to you. We bring it to you every weekend, every weekday. Rourke, other shows. Man, Songwriter Studio, there are so many. Pat and Rosie's Night Sounds that feature live artists.
Best wishes to Pat, by the way, who's going to be out for a few months.
Yeah, and Rosie, too. They're both struggling health-wise. My best wishes to my good friends, Pat and Rosie. What a show they put on Friday nights. And now Lisa and company and Joni are carrying that. And we appreciate that, guys, if you're listening. 713-526-5738, KPFT 100%. Unadulterated, listener-supported.
Right, even more pure than ivory snow.
And if you call in right now with a $185,000 pledge for a new transmitter,
I'll put a brass
you can
plaque
go
with your
to
name on
each one of those shows.
Indeed. It's a ways you can help the radio station. Every single dollar, every single thing you can do is very appreciated. Seriously, we need you. 713-526-KPFT. I've got like 800 and some dollars on the board towards 3,000.
Well, we need more.
Yes, we do.
We do need
music lovers. We always tell you to come out to the venues and support live music. The other way to support live music here in town is supporting KPFT, who exposes so much of the music from so many local artists and lets you know who they are and where they're going to be and give you the opportunity to support them live.
You know what I'd like to do? It's $20 for our benefit tomorrow to get in, and if we get 2 KPFT listeners to come to the show, I'll donate that $40 and I'll become a member.
713-526-5738.
Now, what Billy says is a show that includes Shake Russell and John Evans and Danny Everett and Jack Saunders and Rancho Bebop.
The Voices. Yeah.
Hey, that was stereo.
And where's this at, guy?
It's at Dan Electro's tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock.
2 to 6.
2 to 6. It's an afternoon show and party. It's a birthday party for Billy, and he's going to play with all of his old friends, and we're going to raise some money for the family. And,
So KPFT listeners, if you come to the benefit tomorrow, if we get at least 2 KPFT listeners coming out, I will become a member, and I'll
what do
take
we got
$40.
there, Sandy?
We got one.
Money.
We got one
right there.
All right. Fantastic.
Jack,
I love you, baby.
I'm paying somebody's way in.
Thank you. All right.
Don't Billy out of the studio until that second.
713-526-5738. I am going to go back to a little more disc-based music. Guys, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk about the benefit and the party tomorrow. We appreciate KPFT and really suggest people call. This is the end of this drive. Make it longer time till the next drive when you pledge more.
Amen, brother.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Okay, Billy, good luck with that benefit.
Thanks so much.
Fight the good fight, man.
Appreciate you.
Need you around.
All right.
Thank you, Sandy.
As we overheard in Norway one time, we're really rocking now, haven't we?
Hi, I'm Guy Schwartz.
And I'm Marlo Blue.